not connecting. And welcome to the COVID Freedom Sessions. Here we are with Rose Munroe of Hansaa and Phil Jacobs, and today we're talking about connection. It's great to connect with you guys.
Yay.
Hello.
Yeah, so wonderful. So we're talking about connection. I think you're going to start with a song, Phil.
Sure. I'm gonna do one I wrote here. What do you want? What do you need? Where does your love fit into my needs? All I want right now is for you to see. Love for you comes easily. I know everybody's lonely here, but I can't talk to you, let alone walk to you. You know something that I don't know, swinging to and fro, from your lips to my flow. What do you see? That it's not really me. Where is your fire? The one that burns desire. Here we go together into the depths of despair. I smell the pain of deceit flowing in the air. We know everybody's lonely here, but I can't talk to you, let alone walk to you. We know something that you don't know, swinging to and fro, from your lips to our flow. What do we want? What do we need? All I want right now is for you to see. Love for you comes easily. I know everybody's lonely here, but I can't talk to you, let alone walk to you. You know something that I don't know, swinging to and fro, from your lips to my flow. Oh, hey, oh. Yeah.
We were muted. Yeah, so great.
Beautiful.
It's like a pause after. He's like, "Was that okay? Did you hear me?"
No. It's like this is the uncomfortable pause that nobody likes to sit in, but I like to sit in it.
Yeah.
And then see what happens.
The whole "Walk to You" song. You did the "Walk to You" song,
That's the song.
and talks about loneliness. Perhaps the opposite of connection.
Perhaps.
Perhaps, depending how you think about connection. What did you What did you get from the song, Rose?
It really gave me an opportunity just to connect with myself, actually.
Yeah.
And that's, I was just feeling the vibration of the music, the sound of his voice, and it just allowed me to be in the moment. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's essentially what the song is about. It's it's self-reflection,
Hmm.
rather than grasping. The let alone walk to you. It's the walk to you. It's like we can't connect the way we used to. But then, like you're saying and bringing into this conversation, it's so important just to sit and connect with self. For like right in these moments right now, it's so important to do that. Yeah, that's just my thoughts, and that's exactly what that song is about. It's not what I perceive. That's what I'm seeing as me. It's not you.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm sorry.
It's always us.
It really isn't you. It's me.
Always.
Yeah, it was very. You're right in the pocket today. I mean, the sound is great. The flow is great. I mean, this morning earlier on, I think we all received a special message from the government that told us that there's a lockdown happening, which just reminds me. I'm getting the chills. Why we're doing this is to sort of free ourselves from that sort of stuff, and I just let it sort of flow through me. And they keep tuning the message a little bit. They say don't leave or stay at home, which is sort of nice actually. I love that, stay at home. And then they get in, but go out if you need to eat or drink or do all those other things, that you need to do, which is fair. So I'm glad we're allowed to go out and do those things. Some of us go for other things, but and for work. But yeah, a lot of people take it very much to heart, and they sort of barricade themselves in their home, and they don't even go out. I mean, I think it's important. At least we can digitally reach those people, and they can. It's their choice whether they go out or not, and everything. But there's always a way through your mind to find freedom from that, but also to connect, to join us and actually connect online. You know.
Chris, I'm gonna just nudge you to take me off the big screen when you're talking.
Really? You want to see me? We like seeing you.
Yeah, because like people are like looking at me if they're looking, but I'm not talking and you're talking. It's like I'm a ventriloquist or something.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna put Rose up there. We're gonna make Rose on the big screen. There you go. Because Rose is our special guest. And what were you thinking in choosing connection? Why is connection important for you, Rose?
I think connection more now than ever is important because of what we are experiencing during these COVID-19 times. We've all gone through some really beautiful lessons, trying to stay positive and trying to understand how this experience has helped us grow. And for me, the connection has really been first with myself and really understanding who I am, what I need, and what I can bring to this experience of COVID that is going to make my vibrations stronger and be of more love. So for me, everything is really between love and fear. Right from the beginning, I made a very strong choice to always stay in the vibration of love. And in order just to say that, you really have to connect it. You have to connect that to your actions, to your thoughts, to your words, to your being. And for me, the connection has been learning how to do that with myself. And by doing that with myself, I've been able to help others learn how to connect in different ways. And we've really lost a lot of, we've lost and we've gained. So like you started to say, Chris, because of technology, we're able to do this. How awesome is it? The three of us can have this conversation in three different parts. It's beautiful. And it's exhilarating for me to think that I can be anywhere and speak to my girlfriend in Australia face to face. And so great times, but we're also missing the old fashioned way of communicating, writing the letters, picking up the phone and just having a conversation instead of texting. So connection's huge. And I think it's learning how to be connected to ourselves first. And once you fill up your vase of being selfful, then it's easy to connect with others, and maybe without any expectations, just being able to connect with someone else and learning how to connect with a smile. And we have to smile with our eyes, since we're not able to do that with our big smiles now, which it's difficult. We're learning how to read people differently. We're learning how to read ourselves. How many people have even put a mask on and looked in the mirror to see what they look like? And how important it might be to be able to realize that I need to be a little bit more expressive with my eyes, or my shaking of my head, or, I've got the European in me, so I can use my hands. It's about communicating. It's about connecting. So for me, it's huge. It's everything. We're human beings, and we are on this experience for connection.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. I know that Phil, I know you connect to yourself, but you also have a special relationship with connecting with trees and nature. And I know many people are find that connection in different ways, and yours is with trees and nature. How does that help you connect to yourself, or is it separate? Is it a separate thing?
Like the connection to trees.
Yeah, yeah. Does it help with yourself, or is it just trees only, or what's the behind that? I want to delve into it a little bit.
Yeah, good. It's great. I wish it was only trees that I had to talk to sometimes. But the work, being in nature and connecting to trees, and I was actually just contemplating that this morning. In that, like, we have to regulate ourselves with each other, because we're human beings, so we can't, somebody. I got into a discussion, a lighthearted discussion with someone around I can regulate myself with a tree, because if there's no separation and no difference, and we're just reflections of each other, I can do this with a tree. And then I guess the leader of the group was like, no, you need to do this with people. And I think at the end of the day, we need to do it with all of it, right? We need to do it with the trees, we need to do it with the earth, we need to do it with people, we need to do it with the air, we need to do it with the sky and the stars and the sun and the moon, to be able to really, really have a full human experience. The trees, for me, really, really help me stay grounded. When I'm walking in the forest with the trees, I can feel the soil, and I can feel the cushion of the soil and the leaves that are composting back into the earth to give nutrients back to the roots, to the trees, and the sound of the water. But it's really the visceral feeling, and then I've got the smell of, now the flowers are coming out in the forest. So there's a visceral smell happening. So it's a very, very fragrant smell, which is amazing. It's like magical out there. And with the new leaves coming in with the trees, you can feel the sense and a shift in the oxygen changing.
Yeah, it's a rebirth. It's like a rebirth, eh?
In the round, yeah, and you can feel the moisture coming back into the air too, which is it's fantastic. So it's the connection to the elements, which are very, very important. And I think I feel into that, and for me, it's so important to connect to the elements before I connect to another human being, because it helps me really ground and clear whatever needs to be cleared. So it's very, very helpful, that connection, and it reminds me of who I am.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And
what about you, Chris?
Well, I guess I'll put myself on the big screen. I've been told that's important.
It is important.
Hi.
We need to see you.
Yeah. So when I meditate, I actually put nature on my television. When I connect and ground, and it's usually running water or some travel thing with very gentle music. There's lots of them, and they're on my Instagram link bio, and campsite bio there. And then I like to do it at sunrise. So I connect with the sun, actually, is the way I do it.
Brilliant.
And but the thing is that right now, there's no regulation that states we can't go out and hug trees. So I think we should all be hugging as many trees as we can in replacement of humans. And I think that trees they have different properties than humans. I think it's beautiful. I know I feel so grounded when I'm hugging trees on the street. Just see a tree. If there's a bunch, I sort of look I sort of just ask myself which one wants a hug, because I'm only going to hug one typically, and then one will stand out that needs the hug, and then I know which one it is, and so I get an answer for that, which is beautiful.
Perfect.
What about yourself in nature, Rose? Do you use nature at all in
Oh,
your practice?
absolutely. I can't wait to. I love hiking. And one thing that I started to do, my partner and I last year started hiking barefoot. And it was such an amazing experience. And it's true hiking, like we're going up and down, and there's debris and what have you. But you have to be in the present moment, and you have to be one with the ground. And people will stop us on the trail and say, "How is it that you're not cutting your feet?" Or, and it's like once you are in oneness with nature and with the ground, it protects you, and it is so beautiful. Not just the effects of taking the hike during, for a couple hours, but even afterwards, your body just gets energized in a way I don't think I've ever felt before. So I haven't, obviously, with the weather, definitely taking my hikes, but I can't wait to take my shoes off and ground again and feel the cool earth on my feet. It's a beautiful connection, and I would highly recommend it for anyone.
Well, it's a great idea. I was going to ask Phil. It might be a personal question, but you go barefoot?
I'm not. I didn't in the wintertime, but thank you for the reminder to for the barefoot, because I'm just imagining that on my feet right now would be absolutely amazing. So yes, I have done. I switch on and off
Good.
with the bare feet. So I think it's fabulous with the bare feet, and you can feel that. You feel the ground, you can feel the earth underneath you, and you can feel the connection, and you can feel all of the it's I can't remember what it's called, free electrons from the grounding that you can just absorb through your feet.
Oh, really?
Which,
Didn't know about that.
It's like free energy. So if you ever need to have a calm down and like a natural energy boost, go just put your feet on the ground outside. It's like a magnificent surge of like, it's like I can't describe it. You got to go do it and experience it, and then you'll just know.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things I love about nature too is the music that nature creates when you're in the forest. And yeah, it just creates a magical sound that's part of the whole aura and energy of it. And music is so important in this life and in the universe and communicating to us. And Phil, maybe you could take us on another musical journey.
I can, absolutely.
And welcome to Teresa, and welcome to everyone on Instagram, YouTube watchers, and Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks for being with us.
I am all of the things that come to me in my dreams, from the hell to the great big sky. And I stand all of the time and I wonder all of the time the biggest questions. Oh, why am I here all on my own, or am I a part of the zone, twilight time. But where is my home? So I ask the trees all of the time, what is really all mine? Will I end up fine all on my own? Just be the trees, I'll say. We are just being okay with what we are. We are all the same. Connecting beneath the ground, just look at what we found, and all we need is what is around. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now. Da 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 da. Ooh. La da 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 da. Oh, oh, oh. Da 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 da. Just be the trees, I'll say. We are just being okay with what we are. We are all the same. Connecting beneath the ground, just look at what we found, and all we need is what is around. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now.
Really great.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
Really.
you for that. Really a good choice for today.
I think so. We sing that song a lot, but it just feels appropriate just to sing that song when we talk about connection and we talk about self-care and self-love, and the message that the trees have is just be. Just be. And the first time I really seriously meditated with the trees was many years ago, and I asked the tree, how do you stand like that? If we are all the same and we're all molecular beings, how do you stand like that and you don't tire? So I practiced the tree pose and the qigong with the trees, and I got up to 3 hours just with breath. But I noticed, like, every time I got stuck in my thoughts, I didn't have the strength to hold my arms up. And then the trees are like, well, we're not thinking about being a tree, Phil. We're just being a tree, right? So it's like, how do we find out how to be a human being? Just a human being. I am a human being. How can I just be, and how can I come into being? Not doing a being. So it's fascinating, the information that we can receive from the elements and the natural order of how everything flows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know that's the first time you've heard that song, Rose. What came up for you?
Oh, it was so beautiful. It reminded me of the simplicity of being and the power of connecting, if we're going back to the topic today, the power that connection has just even in changing one person's day, moment, and you don't have to do anything except that simple connection. And like you said, Phil, with connecting to the trees, how the trees are connecting to you. That is so awesome. That is so beautiful. And yet, with beings, we all need that connection. We want that connection. So it's not about, yeah, the song was beautiful. It was just reminding me of the difference I can make.
Mm.
Yeah, beautiful. I know. For me, the thing it reminded me of is that we're already all connected. Actually,
Yes, yes.
like we already are connected. It's just that we're not maybe using it the way we could use it to connect to ourselves and then connect to one another. So to find grace and balance and understanding.
Yeah,
But we are connected already,
yeah,
and so to make that, you have to make that realization. I mean, when did you make that realization, Phil?
that we're all connected. I I can't remember when it was, but I've always had a felt sense of there is there's something. So I I remember back, and this is crazy because I've come through a lot of addiction, and mental health. So we're looking, maybe this is like almost 20 years ago, and I remember in the heyday of cocaine and music and gigs and all that kind of stuff. And I remember telling someone that I was co-creating all of this, and this person looked at me and told me I was crazy and I was just high. And then I was like, no, no, no. Actually, I had a felt sense of this, that long ago around. I'm participating and I'm a co-creator of this reality. So whatever I push forward in here, I'm co-creating this whole reality. And this person had talked about being a product of society. We are all products of society, right? And then that's where illness exists. I believe that fully. And illness and addiction is the product of society. We often stumble into it, and don't realize that that's something that's soothing us from the message of the society, cultural norms that are going on out there. And then coming into this place of like, oh, no, 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 hang on a second, I'm co-creating this. Every dynamic that shows up in my life, I've co-created. And then that allows me to take responsibility, and it allows me to show up differently. And it's like, I'm getting like more truth chills. I've had so many truth chills today. It's like crazy.
Beautiful.
In the affirmation that, yeah, we're all connected, even though we don't have roots like the trees. We have a system like the trees where we can't see it, but we're connected through that system. And Western science is proving it with quantum field, quantum mechanics, and quantum science. In in those fields and dimensions that we're all connected, and this 3D is not all there is to us. And that's amazing. it's like amazing. There's no separation between you and I. It's like right now we're learning to connect from a distance, and we need this apparatus to do this, but we can get to the point where we can train our muscles to, we don't need the computer anymore, kind of thing. That's the evolution
Truth, yeah.
of what we can do with pineal gland and the internal things, if we are really connected to the inside. And bring back to what you said at the beginning, connection, and the self connection is the most important thing to understand, that we're all connected. and that's all I have to say about that.
Okay,
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah, no, well, thank you for that, for sharing that. And for you, Rose, when was it that you first realized that you were connected to everything?
There's been a lot of moments. I would actually say I had an amazing moment in my life, and I remember it like yesterday when I was 8 years old. My mother was actually in hospital for a very long period of time for mental illness, and we weren't able to see her back then. And my younger sister and I were literally pawned off to neighbor to neighbor to neighbor, and really didn't have a lot of consistencies in our life at the time. And I was 8 years old, and I got up one Saturday morning. At the time, we were living with a family of 7, and they were having breakfast with powdered milk. And I remember the smell of the powdered milk really turned my stomach. And so I didn't eat, and I just wandered outside. And I'm walking and walking, and I realized I was all alone, and no one was looking for me. No one cared about me. And that could be a pretty devastating thought for an 8-year-old. And I can remember standing on the corner and really feeling a connection to divinity, creator, God, however source you want to label. But it was this unbelievable moment that I'm not alone. I am totally a part of everything that is happening, and it's good. I can grow from this. I can learn from this. And I got excited. Having Phil, I absolutely love that you were able to bring up the conversation that we co-create. This isn't a conversation a lot of people can have. And my son was an addict. And as a mother, knowing that I co-created this experience was devastating, because you never want to see your son go through what he went through. And we had almost lost him to an overdose at one point. And then again, there was taking on the responsibility and realizing that I have the power to also love the situation. This is his journey. This is why he came here, to go on this journey. And if I approach this journey with nothing but love, and I so believe in the Ho'oponopono prayer, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And it changes. So as a mother, I have the ability to co-create a positive experience from that. And it really was devastating to watch my son go through this overdose, and then have the doctors come in and say, we don't even know what just happened overnight. It was almost like he was healed. And it was just that knowing that if I can forgive myself, forgive his soul for going through this experience, because he needs to learn whatever he needs to learn, and without attachment, without expectation, then the whole experience of co-creating becomes simpler and becomes powerful and beautiful. So instead of looking at what is going on with COVID and saying, oh, it's crappy, well, how can we co-create a good connection, right? How can we make this a beautiful experience? And it has been a beautiful experience for me. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for allowing me to share. Yeah, thank you.
It is, yeah.
I know for me, feeling connected only just happened like 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm like a newbie, guys.
All right.
I'm a newbie to all this, you know. I think I had a sense of it, but I didn't really pay attention
What was the moment?
till I had that awakening. Well, it was at a yoga retreat. It was at a yoga retreat. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was. I was just there with everyone else. It was sort of a sense of community that made me realize it, to be there with everyone else.
Yeah.
And we were. It was probably the first one. We were at Inn on the Mountain, which is in Prince Edward County, and the yoga retreat was there with Carmelinda and her friends, and they have this boathouse, which is, it's not really even a boathouse. There's no boathouses in it, but they call it the boathouse, and it's really a meeting space, a dock, a large dock that's covered where they hold weddings, but it's also where you can go to do yoga and have other functions. But what's neat about it is that it's over the water. So you get the energy of the water, and you get the sound of the lapping of the water from the lake. And the lake is above Lake Ontario, so it's in Prince Edward. It's on Prince Edward County, but there was a mill that used to be there, and so it goes down into Lake Ontario. It's just all rainwater, right, out of this lake. It's on sort of this mountain that they call Inn on the Mountain. And it was just a beautiful connection period right there.
Beautiful.
So that's when I first felt that.
Beautiful.
And was aware of it.
Right.
I think I felt it the whole time. I just wasn't aware of how we were all connected. So yeah, it was beautiful to bring us together. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I'm wondering, any last thoughts on connection, Phil?
Um, breath,
Yeah.
breath, just breath. Like I've learned in my own experience, the quickest way that I can ground and connect to myself if I feel like I'm a little bit off is just returning to breath, like a nice big belly breath. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you, Rose, for coming on and sharing your wisdom and your experience today.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful to have you. Beautiful to have you. Thank you for bringing your light to us today. Yeah. And so the fire and energy in our hearts goes out to everyone who's watching and is watching the replay, live or not. And we look forward to seeing you again next week on the COVID Freedom Sessions on Thursday. Hope you can attend or watch us on replay. All the best, everyone.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Love and light.